Hello, my name is Mary Goldsberry. Mary Goldsberry, 5/20/23. This is my PowerPoint on the nerve physiology portfolio. I hope everyone out in TV land can see my screen. The peripheral sensory nerves are small structures that are found in the skin and other organs. They detect displacement, velocity, and acceleration. They provide information about the intensity, the location, and duration of a stimulus. These can be considered dendrites for sensory neurons. Mechanoreceptors being acted upon creates an action potential. That's a response that the neuron does in the sensory neuron, and it ends in the dorsal horn of the spinal cord. The impulses are then relayed to the thalamus through the dorsal column or the spinal thalamic pathway. Through this process, sensory information is relayed to the brain. Down here, you will see the nervous system diagram. This is the central, you have to look down at the bottom. There is the central nervous system, which consists of the brain and the spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, which is the nerve, the receptor, and the sensory organ. The types of receptors are the different types. They are free nerve endings, and the most copious, which means the largest amount, are in the epidermis, which is the skin. They have no or minimal Schwann cells, and they're not special. They can be found in nociceptors, which are pain receptors, mechanoreceptors, displacement receptors. Those are thermoreceptors, which is a temperature receptor. And then the slow adapting receptors. They respond to constant unchanging stimulus, like a pressure or a stretch. Merkel cells are responsible for identifying the pressure, especially in very sensitive areas, like the fingertips or other places that are very sensitive. They are disc-shaped when paired with free nerve endings. The Ruffini cells, those are my favorite. They make me happy. They're responsible to identify a stretch that are found in connective tissues. The subcutaneous, which means below the fat, and the dermis areas of the body, and they have long spindly receptors, and they're wrapped in collagen fibers. And down below, you can see that there are drawings of the different types. Rapid adapting receptors respond to a quick stimulus like taps, things that will begin and then stop, and then begin and then stop, and it's like a system. The hair follicle receptors are the receptors that are tied to the ends of a hair follicle, that whenever a hair gets moved, moving the hair, it disturbs the receptor and triggers an action potential. This is responsible for a quick detecting light touch in hairy areas of the body and touching the hairy area. The Pacinian corpuscles are sensitive to pressure and vibration. They are present in the dermis, connective tissue, and internal organs. They're a single nerve ending that is encapsulated in a lamellae. Don't bite me, dog. They're a single nerve ending that is encapsulated. I read that. I got scared. They're extremely sensitive and separated by a fluid resembling the lymph. They respond to acceleration and displacement. These things, acceleration and displacement, trigger an action potential. Messner's corpuscles are very sensitive to light pressure. They are present in the dermal papillae of the skin and are responsible for the ability to manipulate fine objects. They are found in finger pads and have tightly packed Schwann cells. Down below on this slide are diagrams of those two. Location. The location determines the type of the receptors that are found within. There are two main: hairy skin, like a chest hair or like other hair, like hair, and then the glabrous, which is skin without hair. I don't know where that would be. There are many receptors are found within both types of skin. For example, Ruffini receptors and free nerve endings. Oh, on the palms of most people's hands, there's the globoid skin. And Meissner's corpuscles are found in that. The PNS, which is peripheral nervous system, and the CNS, which is central nervous system, communicate and connect with each other. The peripheral nervous system is full of sensory neurons that detect and receive stimulus from skin and connective tissue and internal organs. Things that are outlying. That results in action potential and will send an electrical impulse. And it goes up to the central nervous system, which is the brain and the spine, and then it's interpreted and responded to. And this is the end of my glorious presentation. And I will also attach a study guide which was requested. And down here you see a picture of a person touching a fire. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's been wonderful.